I'm back. Alright, today it's gonna be really quick. I'm just gonna show you how to print. Like if you're using analog gear, so say you're in a console, you're going to the studio, you're at the studio, you're in front of a console, let's just say you got all your outputs sent to the board. Now you got your mix ready. Now what do I do now? You're playing it, you got the master fader, it's saved, but how do you get what you're listening to come back into Pro Tools? Bam! That's what I'm gonna show y'all. So here we go. I got Pro Tools pulled up. I got this mix. See, look, I'm sending it out to analog 5, 6. So I'm sending it out to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are my buses. Everything, my whole session is routed to my buses. So, my vocals here are routed to Tech Vox, True Vox, Chubbs Vox, and Vox Chubbs, which is a hook. And then you see my drums, instruments, and here we have drums, instruments, effects, which are my delays and reverbs, and then here are the vocals: Tech Vox, True Vox, Chubbs verse, Vox Chubbs, which is the hook. And all those are routed into the acapella, which is here, and that's being played out of analog 11 and 12. So that's on my fader on my analog board, on my SSL board. And now I have effects going to channel 9 and 10 on my SSL board, and so on, 7 and 8 on my SSL board, 5 and 6 on my SSL board. Now, you can see here, this is where we're going to print. So here is going to be the print. So I brought in a new, so let's just do this so you can see. What I'm going to do is new track, stereo, audio, create, and we're going to name this print. Choose. Oh, sorry, I don't know how to spell. Choosing wisely, print. So now that we got that, let me hide that for now. Here we go. So now we're working here. Here what I want is I have my master fader coming into my interfaces input 15 and 16. Alright? So it's leaving my master fader and going into the input 15 and 16. So this is where my master fader is. It's coming out of my master fader from my SSL into the interfaces 15 and 16 input. So on the input, hit 15 and 16, because that's where all this audio on my master fader is being routed to. Just let me hide this so y'all don't get confused either, because my master fader is on my console. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit record like we do. Oh no, hold on, before we do that, so we got our 15 and 16. Yeah, I started doing that because my microphone's hooked up to my board, so you can see me talking. Anyways, besides that, here we go, 15, 16, and my output. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna output it to my board, which is my output 15 and 16, which yours will be 1 and 2. So you got your 1 and 2 set up there, and you have your input where it's coming in, or wherever you have this at, but you got 1 and 2 coming in. So we're gonna mute this because 15 and 16 is gonna hit my board and we're gonna hear this twice, but we don't want that, so we're just gonna mute that. Another thing you can do is you can just dead patch this into a patch that goes into nothing. So I'm going out 15, 16 bus, and there's nothing there. So you can do that, or you can mute it. Up to you. We're gonna do both, just to be safe. So now we're gonna hit arm the track, and we're gonna go down to, we'll highlight everything we want, the area we want at least. Let's just do this area. Highlight everything. Alright, and let's bring this down so you can see it here. And that's muted. Okay, so now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna hit record, and when I hit record, this is gonna play through my mixing board or my console, and it's gonna be mixing inside my console, and then leaving my console out of 15 and 16, and that's hidden my interface's inputs 15 and 16. It could be any inputs, mine are just 15 and 16. Here we go.
The darkness seep in like you're struck by demons. Don't trust, they scheming. Head bust, you're leaking, cause you didn't choose them wisely. Dog, you didn't choose them wisely. The darkness.
Alright, so you see there, that's my finished audio coming in from my master fader from my console is now printed inside Pro Tools. So let's unarm it, and let's send this out to a channel, which I'm gonna send it out 15 and 16. You can send it out 1 and 2, whatever you want, which would be probably 1 and 2 if you're just using an interface to come back in. So let's hit play there, solo there, and now I'm gonna play this back, and what you will be hearing will not be any of this. It will be the print itself, because you'll notice it'll stop. So as you can see,
the darkness seep in like you're struck by demons. Don't trust, they scheming. Head bust, you're leaking, cause you didn't choose them wisely. Dog, you didn't choose them wisely. The darkness.
and it stopped right there, and it's still playing. So you could see there that it was only playing that channel, that track, and we were listening back to what were recorded from the console. Yeah. I'm gonna take it a little further than that. So now that we got that there, you know the name. So there's two things you can do. That's a WAV file set up to whatever your session is. So if you got it set up to 24, 48, 16, 44, 1, and that's what you want, that's going to be your final, whatever your situation is. If that's what you want, I'll show you how to get to it. Because it will not be inside your bounce tracks. So what you want to do is go to Finder. You're going to go wherever you have your song. This one is called New for Fun. And right here. Not your bounce files. We're going to take it old school. Before bounce files, there was just audio files. And nothing else. So, that's helpful now for when you're bouncing. But if you're printing, it's going to be underneath audio files. So you want to go to audio files. And look, right there. Choose them wisely, print 01. Now let's make sure it's the same one. Look, right there. Print underscore 01. Now that we got that, go back to your finder. Look, print today 321, 324. So obviously that's the one we printed. And you can hit spacebar. As you can see,
You're struck by demon. Cause you didn't choose on.
there it is, 36 seconds. Just that. So there it is, .wav file, because my session is set up for a WAV file at 24 bit rate. So then I could just take that completely over to my mastering session and start mastering right away. Boom. There it is. But say you don't want to go looking for this file, you can't see the name, whatever the case may be. I'll show you another way. We'll leave that there and we'll leave bounce files because we'll need that. So we'll go here. So I think you have a few choices. You can you can right click it and hit bounce. Track bounce. Now this is only going to bounce this track and set it up MP3 1648. Of course, if I wanted wave 24 or 48, but it already is 24 or 48. So if that was the case, I could just go grab it. But say you just want to bounce it anyway, just because you like Pro Tools' bouncing method and you want to have it in your bounce folder for some reason. I mean, you could drag and drop it, but whatever the case may be, whatever you want to do. Here it is. So then you would go to, for my case, I want an MP3 because I already have the wave. So I'm gonna hit offline just for convenience, and we're gonna name it. It's gonna be called Choose Them Wisely. Again, I don't know how to spell, so you already know. And we're gonna hit bounce. And slower, whatever you want, whatever you decide you want this to be. I've noticed that whenever I hit this, sometimes I get clicks and pops, so I don't ever use that. I don't need it because I'm not doing surround, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, let's hit OK, and it bounced it. You see iTunes try to open. Let's quit that. So now let's go back to the Finder. Now it will be inside your bounce folders. So bounce files. You go there and there it is. Choose them wisely. Print. I misspelled it, but you know what I meant. There you go. And there it is. And that's how you do it. I guess I'll show you the other way, just in case you can't right click bounce from there. File, bounce, and just for safe, just to be safe, we don't want anything getting in there. Hit Option M. Let's mute everything and then unmute this, just in case. We don't want anything getting in there. Everything's muted except for the print. Bounce the disc, and look, here you go. And again, make sure that this is set up to the same thing, because mine right now, for some reason, it is not. It's coming out of my 15 and 16. Yours should usually be just 1 and 2, but it's coming out 15 and 16, and I want to track that, so I am gonna go to 15 and 16, or else it won't record 15 and 16. It won't bounce 15 and 16. That's why I like to right click bounce, so I just tell it this track coming out of this output is what I want. But if you want to do it this route, you just got to make sure this is actually where it's supposed to be. MP3 48 test. It's going to say -1 because we already no, actually, you know what, choose bounce. Name this one choose bounce. So let's hit bounce offline, choose bounce offline. It is bouncing, converting, all that good stuff. iTunes try to open up again. Let's quit that, and we'll go back over here. Bounce files. Choose bounce right there.
Dog, you didn't choose them wisely.
So it's really up to you at the end of the day. I don't know if there's a difference between. Oh well, these are MP3, so it wouldn't match up. So scratch what I was about to just say. Yeah. Holla at me if you have any questions or you need any help. Yeah. Again, that's how you would print off a mixer, off a console, off of anything analog coming back into Pro Tools. So that didn't have to be a console. That could have been a compressor. You could have ran vocals through a compressor. You would have done the same thing. You would have outputted. You would have set your output to send out at whatever output the compressor was hooked up to, and then the compressor's output back into the interface's input. But if y'all want a video on that, I'll make a video on that. I won't get into that right now. You know what? It's Teasy. I'm out. Until next time, holla at your boy.